Amen.
Amen. Amen. No cap, no cap.
Hey, we here with another episode of On the Porch.
We got somebody else on that is killing it in the trading game. Guys, we got my guy, Joseph Taylor, in the building, right? Better known as JT.
My name is Joseph Taylor. Most people know me as JT. I'm a full-time investor, trader, entrepreneur. Like he was just saying, I got my own app, my own trading software. We'll talk about that. And I got an educational community where I'm helping people learn the game. So I like the stock market because that's the one hustle where you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to drive, leave your house, get stuck in traffic. You don't have to post on social media. You don't even really have to leave the bed if you don't want to. And you can just be on your phone, laptop, and you can make thousands of dollars. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you know about the charts. If you don't know how to actually manage your trading account and think and move like a trader, you're never going to be profitable. I didn't move out of my parents' house until I had over $100,000 saved up.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I could have been left.
I would have did that.
I could have been left. Yeah, so this year, pretty much all the profits that I made have been reinvested into the tech company. I'm really wanting to grow this. How can we make something to help people find trades? Because we're teaching people, we're educating them, and we get them to a point where they're comfortable and confident enough to trade on their own. So now they might not feel like they need that kind of beginner hand holding. So how can we still provide value to those people that don't need the beginner help? And that's where capital flow came from.
Hey, welcome back to a whole other episode of On the Porch. Guys, you already know what's going on. We already understand. We need you to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, go over to other platforms such as Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever that is. Leave us 5 stars and say something nice about us so we can move up those charts and make sure that we're getting this information out to other individuals that need it. So stop being selfish. Follow us on Instagram at _on_the_porch and follow me on Instagram at Mr. Mindset. BJ.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. No cap, no cap.
Hey, we here with another episode of On the Porch, man. Y'all already know it's your boy _BJ Real. Y'all could go follow us on all platforms, guys. We're on all platforms. Y'all go like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube at On the Porch, on Instagram at _on the porch, guys. Like we said, we're going guest for guest for guest. We're going bigger and better every time. And we have another special guest with us here today.
Man, we got another special guest. If you heard, we was talking about Lawrence. If you guys know who Lawrence is, most of our supporters, you guys understand. You probably seen the episode. And even if you're not our supporter, you probably just seen the episode anyways. So that's why we're talking about it, because we got somebody else on that is killing it in the trading game. Guys, we know you guys want to hear about this, but he's going to bring a different perspective, guys. Some more information that you need to hear. So make sure you're tapping in. Guys, we got my guy, Joseph Taylor, in the building, right? AKA, better known as JT.
There you go.
Better known as JT. So we got him on. He is the owner of Capital Flow.
Yeah.
I don't know what your group called. I don't know what your group
Impact Investments.
Impact Investments.
Yeah.
Guys, he is going crazy. The only reason I know what Capital Flow is, I'm like, this guy got his own app, so he's doing a little different. So we had to get him on because he obviously knows something behind the scenes that we do not know. So we got my boy on. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let him know what you're about and what you do.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? Appreciate y'all for having me, man. My name is Joseph Taylor. Most people know me as JT. I'm a full-time investor, trader, entrepreneur. Like he was just saying, I got my own app, my own trading software. We'll talk about that. And I got an educational community where I'm helping people learn the game.
Man, so how did you first... I was finna go straight into the app, I ain't gonna lie. But how did you get into trading?
We started at the beginning.
Yeah, it started at the beginning. I guess it started at the beginning, right? I want to hear about the apps and everything, but I guess it started at the beginning. So how did you get into trading? Where were you at in life where you said, you know what, you figured this trading thing out? Because it wasn't that big, I guess, when you started.
Nah, it wasn't. So my first introduction to the stock market was in 2016. I was in high school. I took a personal finance class. So that was an introduction to the market. They weren't really teaching us the game. It was more like, this is what the stock market is, kind of real surface level stuff. But for me, I always loved money, making money, saving money. But I only knew about making money as trading your time for money, going to work, or maybe even like just flipping some shoes or something that's more active.
Yeah.
So when they started talking about the stock market, and the idea of making your money work for you, that just piqued my interest. So I only needed that introduction, surface level stuff to want to start diving into that a little more on my own. So 2018 is when I really started diving into the market more because I had a job. I started working at Domino's. I was a delivery driver. So I'm delivering, I'm getting paychecks and tips. I'm putting my money in the market, learning the game, studying on Google, studying on YouTube, getting in and out to the point where I got consistent with it.
Whoa, how old were you when you started doing this? How old were you when you was doing this?
In 2018, I was 18 years old.
Oh wow! So what made you even think like? I know you had took the introductory course, right? Where they're teaching about it in the surface level. But what made you say, let me take this serious, especially at 18 years old? Like where you say, let me put my money into this. Because most people at 18 not thinking about it. Let me buy some shoes. Let me go take some girls out, take some females out, do what I gotta do, go get some, some play goddamn. But so what made you get into that?
I was just always a hustler, man. Like even as a young guy, just flipping candy, flipping shoes, just coming up. So the idea of making money was not new to me. I always understood the value of money, even just saving it. And then I learned about investing it, which is the next level beyond saving. And I got into the stock market because, like I said, I took that introductory class, but I kind of studied a bunch of different things around 18. I was looking into real estate. I swore at one point I was going to be a wholesaler. I looked into real estate. I looked into e-commerce. I looked into stocks, and I decided I wanted to go with the stock market full time because it's what made the most sense to me. Because for one, naturally, I'm just an introvert. And I work myself up to the point where I can go talk on podcasts or make content. But it wasn't natural for me. I'm an introverted guy. So I like the stock market because that's the one hustle where you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to drive, leave your house, get stuck in traffic. You don't have to post on social media. You don't even really have to leave the bed if you don't want to. And you can just be on your phone, laptop, and you can make thousands of dollars. So that's just what made sense to me.
Right.
So was going to school, was that ever an option for you, or you already had everything figured out?
I did spend a little bit of time in college while I was delivering. I was in school studying business. I dropped out second year, so sophomore year, when 2020 hit and the virus and everything like that.
Yeah, same. We both dropped out.
Yeah, for sure. Once 2020, yeah, it was 2020.
Yeah.
I started doing something, but it was 2020 when we left because that's when we went home and then they said, hey, COVID. And I was already making money, so I was like, fuck that.
Me too. I said the same thing.
Same thing.
I said the same thing.
So what did like when you first got introduced to trading, like what did you look at it as? Like was it just like a side hustle for you, or did you know that was like a way for you where you wouldn't have to work for anybody?
I first looked at it as the way most people look at it, which is just, oh, this is quick money. This is get rich quick. And technically you can get rich from trading, but if you're actively trying to just get rich quick, more than likely you're just gonna blow your account, right? So I did end up blowing a lot of accounts.
How many accounts did you blow?
A lot.
I knew you blew some.
A lot, bro. I blew a lot of accounts in the beginning, man, and I learned from my mistakes. But then I had to realize this is not just a game of let me try to make as much money as possible every single day, because I was only thinking about the next day. How much money can I make today or tomorrow? I wasn't thinking like over time, how far can I grow my account over the next year, over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years? So people always say that trading is short term. They say investing is long term and trading is short term, which again is technically true. But trading, you should still approach it with a long term mindset, because you want to think, how far can my trading account get to over the next 1, 5, 10, 20 years? You still got to have that long term mindset. So once I made that switch, that's when I really started having some success with it.
Okay, so when was that when you made that switch? Like what year was that when you made that switch? Was it the same year after you blew a couple accounts, or?
No, it was 2019. Early 2019 is when I really said, let me stop playing around with it. Let me actually lock in, spend more time on YouTube University, on Google, just taking these classes, gathering all the information that I could, studying all the time. And it got to a point where I was still a delivery driver, but I would deliver like, especially during summer 2019, I would deliver pizza all day from open till close. So I wouldn't get off till like 2, 3 in the morning. Shit. And then as soon as I get back to the crib, I get back on YouTube, I'm studying. Then the market opens, I'm right there back at the market. So it was like, I sacrificed a lot of sleep. I sacrificed a good diet because I was just living off of Domino's pizza for a little bit. So it was like, I was in the ugly stages of the grind for a little bit, because once I really got that passion and said, let me just kick this up, we're gonna really get this down. So 2019 when I did all that, and then just got real consistent with it and ended up leaving the job after that.
So we know you said you went straight to YouTube University, but like what's specifically some of those like fundamental things that you were like looking at as far as to get a grasp of how to trade? Like what's some of that research?
Yeah, I would say that the thing that I did in the beginning is something a lot of people do. I was just trying to learn all about the charts, technical analysis, like, the red and green lines called candlesticks that you see, trying to learn about different indicators, things like that. And all of that stuff is important, but something that a lot of people neglect is the mindset behind trading. You have to develop a trader's mindset. So Mark Douglas, he wrote a book, Trading in the Zone. He has a lot of YouTube content. I would say that's definitely one of my moments where I really broke through with it, because I was learning a lot about the indicators, but I was still losing money because I didn't know how to manage a trading account properly. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you know about the charts. If you don't know how to actually manage a trading account and think and move like a trader, you're never going to be profitable.
So did you make money at first, like when you first started trading, or like how did that go for you?
Yeah, I was making money, losing money, because like I would make money, but then just end up giving it right back to the market, end up blowing it the same way a lot of people do, just getting greedy. Like I said, I didn't have that trader's mentality, that trader's mindset. So it was just kind of on and off at first. Like I would make money, but any money I made, I just ended up losing right back until the point where I got consistent.
And how much money did you like start with, like just to play around with?
So I started with $1,000 in my account from working at Domino's, and then I would just kind of add funds in there. I would make a little bit of money, and then once I would get a little bit consistent, I said, okay, let me add a little bit in here, put some more of my Domino's money in here, and just kind of add every week or every other week.
Okay, so what was that? So when you get started, obviously, you said you just talk about mindset, which is really important. What is that mindset? Because I don't think you didn't go into specifics of what the trader mindset is. What is that? Like, what does that look like?
I think for every successful trader, they'll tell you that they had a point in time where they were just locked in on the market.
Yeah.
And for me, a lot of times, like in the early stages of my mindset, I would just wake up right at 9:30 as soon as the market opens, try and hop on my phone, make a couple trades, and that's not the way to do it. So I had to start waking up earlier, for one, to actually study the charts, study the pre-market. And even after the market's closed, I'm spending time doing research, looking at charts, trying to find setups for tomorrow. So it's not just waking up as soon as the market opens and saying, okay, what can I buy? You should already know what you're going to buy the night before the market even opens.
So you got to plan. So what is a setup? Like what does that mean? Like what is a setup? What are you looking for when you say I'm looking for a setup?
Yeah, so a setup is just something that you see that says, okay, let me go ahead and buy this trade right now, right here. And there's a couple of different ways you can look at it. So for one, you have the charts, like technical analysis. That's like I talked about, looking at the red and green lines on the screens, and there's a lot of different kind of sub strategies in technical analysis. There's a lot you can do with that. The charts are a great way to make money. You can make a lot of money with the charts. I made a lot of money with the charts. The thing with charts, I would say they're not complete as a strategy, because the charts are lagging indicators. So it doesn't necessarily tell you what's going to happen in the future. It shows you what happened in the past. So you say, okay, based off of what happened in the past, usually when this happens, this is what happens next. So you say, usually when you see this on the charts, the stock moves up. So you buy preparing for it to move up. So it's a good way to make money. But like I said, it's a lagging indicator. So you can combine that with what I use to make every single trade. Is called flow. It's called options flow. So that's what capital flow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what is flow? Like what?
Yeah. Let's talk about it. So flow, options flow, is showing you what the big money traders across the market are buying. So the big money traders, that's your hedge funds, your institutions, your multimillionaires, the professional traders that are in at JP Morgan, at Goldman Sachs with suits on, trading with tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. And it shows you what they're buying and when they're buying it in real time, so you can make the same moves as them. So you might not have millions of dollars to trade with, but you can still see that, okay, someone has spent $5 million on this trade, and then you see 10 seconds later another 2 million, then another 250,000, another 100,000. So you see these large amounts of money, and you know that these are not people that are playing around. Because I don't care how much money you have, nobody's just going to throw away $5 million.
Nah.
So when you put $5 million into a trade, it's because you know something. You have some conviction.
So you can actually see the amounts that's flowing.
The amounts, you see the time it came in, the date, the time. You see what they bought, you see when they bought it, and you see how much they spent on it.
Never seen that. And I've tried to trade. I ain't even heard of that.
Yeah, bro. It's really the simplest way to make money in the market, because like I said, someone is spending millions of dollars on a trade. They know something that the rest of the public doesn't know.
So you can just go off of, it's almost that thing where how does Burger King know where to build at? They just build wherever McDonald's. It's like
exactly.
the same concept.
Exactly. And I'm not saying you have to necessarily just see it and buy it. Like you can see it. So you see these millions of dollars going into this trade. You might say, okay, what makes someone to buy that? Let me look at the charts. You see something like, oh, that makes sense. It looks like it's about to make this move that they think. Or you look, let me do some more research. Why is this stock being bought crazy? Why is there so much money going here? You look, do you look at their you do a Google search, or you see a news article came out. They're about to drop a new product. They just hired a new CEO. So you see, okay, that makes sense. The move is about to come. So let me go ahead and get in there.
So how long did it even take you to get to this point where like that's what you need to be looking at? Because I'm guessing that what you said, was it Domino's or Pizza Hut?
Yeah, Domino's.
Domino's. So Domino's was the last job you worked?
Yeah.
So Domino's was the last job you worked. So how long did it take you to get to that level where you were just living off of your trades and investments alone?
So it was September of 2019 when I quit my job. I made a trade. At the time, it was my biggest trade. I had made $5,000 just overnight. So I placed a trade.
I'm whole $20. Go ahead.
I placed a trade the night before. I held it. I woke up. I was instantly up 5 bands at the market open, and I quit my job right then and there. I was supposed to go into work because his work was like at 10:30. This was at 9:30. I'm up 5 bands. I was like, nah, I'm not coming in. I'm going. Yeah, I'm good. And from there, I was still living with my parents, so I'm not gonna act like I was just balling, crazy. Because I have bills like regular 19-year-old bills, like
tell us
phone bill.
Tell us
you know what I mean?
Tell us the importance of that. Just being able to live with your parents and just being able to. Because a lot of people right now, they like, not right now, I guess it's on, but especially during that time.
Yeah.
Oh, but when you get this age, 19. 20, 21, 20, 23, people like, oh, I need to leave my parents' house. Like, what's the importance of saying, bro, I don't have to leave my parents' house. I can stay here and now.
Man, you don't rush. Don't rush to move out. Don't rush. I know a lot of people, because I'm from a small town, a real small town, right there in the middle of Virginia. Small dot right there on the map. And to be honest with you, choosing to live with my parents for a couple of years after I was already making great money, that was one of the biggest advantages, because for one, being in a small town, it's easy to kind of lay low, to kind of stack. Like if I had moved to Atlanta or something at 19 years old, I would have been trying to go to the Hawks games, be outside, buying this, buying that. Cause that's the lifestyle out here, you know what I mean? But for me, like I said, I can stay in a small town. I really don't have nobody to impress. There's no clubs, there's no sports teams, there's no big events, there's nothing really popping. Like I can just lay low and grind for a couple more years. I didn't move out of my parents' house until I had over $100,000 saved up.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I could have been left.
I would have did that.
I could have been left. You know what I mean?
Dang, yeah, you could have been.
Did they know how much money you had?
They didn't know the exact amount that's in my bank account, but they knew I was doing all right.
Yeah, because most people don't understand, especially in the black household, right? Like parents, they pocket watch.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
My mom still try to guess how much I made. She still be trying to guess. I know you made this much money. I'm like, bro, I don't know how much money I made.
They weren't really mad about me leaving the job, because that's just a minimum wage job. Like, I could always go get a minimum wage job. It was leaving college that's when they were like, "Are you sure?" Like what?
So you left the job before you left college?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. So were you in college online or?
No, I was in person. Yeah,
Okay.
It was a small local school right there in town.
Okay, I got you. So obviously you made your biggest trade. You moved. That's when you quit your job.
Right.
I know you were telling that story, but I just had to get into the importance of staying.
Yeah.
I tell people stay down.
Stay down. Do not rush it, man. Do not rush it. You're gonna be thankful too.
Yeah, for sure. So after that you left your job. What happened? What followed that? Right. So after you left your job,
How did you run up to save $100,000?
So I left the job in summer of 2019, and then that was later that year I created my community Impact Investments, because I said, let me start a business around this, because I was just sharing my wins on social media and just sharing like the things I knew, helping people, answering DMs. I was helping people in the DMs for free.
Yeah.
For a long time. And then it got to a point I had so many DMs and people were asking me like, yo, do you have a community or a group or a class? Because I want to learn from you. I want to be able to connect with you more. And at first I was turning people away because, like I said, I was an introvert. The reason I got into trading was so I don't have to talk to people. You know what I mean? But it got to a point where I said, I'm just helping people just off of the free game I give out in the DMs and on Twitter. I'm really helping people. People are DMing me results like, yo, just off of your tweet, you helped me learn something. I made $1,000 today. So I was like, yo, I'm really making an impact on people. Like, this is bigger than me. You know what I mean? And I was already growing an audience without a brand, really without a business. I was just telling people what I was doing. So it got to a point where I said, okay, I will go ahead and make a community because I want to be able to, for one, get all the people in my DMs in one place. I wasn't thinking like I'm going to grow this and grow it into a big brand. I said, I want to help the people that were in my DMs. So I put it out there, and originally I didn't even post about it. I just told all the people in my DMs like, look, I got a little community, it's paid, but you come in and then we can talk every day, and it'll be organized, and I'll really teach you, you know what I mean? And they just got in there and they started having good results. They're making money, they're learning. So through word of mouth, it started to grow at first because they were telling their friends about it, and then their friends tell their friends, and it just continued to go that way to the point where I said, okay, this is a business now. At this point, let me go ahead and start promoting this. And it's just been going from there. That was late 2019.
So what's like some of the stuff that you like provide for your community to help them like get better and grow?
Yeah, so we've got classes multiple times per week through Zoom. We live trade every single day, which is one of the biggest benefits. So live trading is myself and other admins in the community, great traders. We actually get on voice. We talk to the members on voice. We tell them what we're buying, why we're buying it, when we're buying it. So they get to learn and see what it's like for traders to think and how we move in real time. And of course, they have opportunities to make money with us because they can buy the things that we're buying. And we've got beginner resources, step-by-step guides. So even if you know zero about the market, step one is literally what is the stock market? And then from there, it gets a little bit more in depth. What is trading, how to buy, trade, etc.
So what's some of the stuff that you look at that allows you to know that this is a good stock to, I guess, trade?
Yeah, options flow has been my biggest thing this year. I obviously have my own options flow service that I use.
Yep.
I had used all the other big ones before that, but
Why do I look? I just so
yeah,
I don't know what's going on, right? I don't know nothing. So I just picture the option flow looking like this. It's like an account, right? You can show me, but I just picture it looking like this, right? Like a social media page almost, right? And it just be like, Mark Zuckerberg just put 5 million into this. I don't know why I imagine it just looking like it's just throwing their names out there and it's popping up in the bubble, flowing up the screen. I don't know why I know it don't look like that. I just feel like that's what it like. So
this is what you got. You can search by a symbol. So look, say you want to look at what are people buying for SPY. You type in SPY, you search that. And then you can set your minimum premium. So say you only want to see when somebody spends $1 million or more on a SPY trade. You click 1 million. Boom. Now you get to see every $1 million plus order on SPY in real time. So you see right here, this is today, 10/19 at 4:15 p.m. Somebody bought SPY, 420 calls, expired 10/20. They spent $1.5 million.
So how did they even
Hold on. So what does that even mean? Like somebody that spends $1 million on a stock, what does that tell you as a trader?
So technically, just one single $1 million order doesn't tell you much. Because at the end of the day, there's always money flowing. There's money, people thinking the stock is going to go up, people making trades thinking it's going to go down. So what you want to see when you're looking at flow is what's called repeat flow. So repeat flow is multiple orders coming in the same direction consecutively with large amounts of money. So in other words, you don't just want to see, one person spent $1 million, let me go ahead and buy it. You want to see 5 people spent $1 million, 2 more people spent 500,000, another person spent 5 million. So you get that repeat flow. Okay, now there's multiple people buying this. They all think it's going to go up. They're all spending large amounts of money. Let me go ahead and make that trade with them.
So it's like when like 5-6 people, they put millions of dollars in there, you're like, okay, this is going up. Or if they project it going down.
Right.
So you're like, oh, okay, so that's going down. So that's like, let me look at that and see when I could get in on that.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I got you. So after I guess so let's add, I'm just trying to add it for the layman's terms, right? So they're able to see. They able to go on this app or whatever it is. If it's yours, we going to Capital Flow.
Yeah.
Guys. That's what we're going. We're going to Capital Flow. He got his own app, guys.
Right.
And we're going to talk about the back ends of that and how you even get that started.
Yeah. We're getting into all that.
We'll get into that. So they see that, right? So that's where you're starting at, right? Or
Right.
are you starting off the news? Are you starting there or where are you starting?
I really start with I start with capital flow at the top of the day when the market, as soon as the market opens, because at the charts there's not much to look at as the candles are moving. There hasn't been any time yet, so I look at capital flow. My favorite time to look at it is as soon as the market opens, because a lot of times what you'll see is what I call the opening bell flow. So as soon as 9:30 hits, you might see tens and millions of dollars coming into a trade. The market just opened 5 seconds ago. No candles have formed, no news has dropped, but these people wanted to get in. They didn't care about any candles. They didn't care about anything else. They said, I want to get in this trade right now as soon as the market opens.
Got to be something.
That tells you that something is going to move quick. So I love to catch those opening moves, and you can catch that flow right at the open. You can follow that. That's easy. That's been my best trading strategy. I have not missed a trade following the opening flow, and it doesn't happen every single day, but every now and then, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, you're going to catch a day where as soon as the market opens, people are spending millions of dollars on this trade right here before anything even happens in the market. You say, okay, they think something is going to happen quick. Let me follow that. That's easy money.
Okay.
So you could go ahead and say that, like, using flow, that's basically another indicator.
It is an indicator, and like I was talking about,
What's the indicator?
an indicator is something that tells you or signals you this is a potential move that's going to happen.
Okay.
And like we talked about with the charts, I said those were lagging indicators because they only show you what happened in the past. And then you say, usually when this happens in the past, this is what happens next. But flows is called a leading indicator because it tells you what's going to happen in the future. So people aren't buying trades right now thinking about past movements. They're saying, I'm buying this right now because the move is coming after I buy it. So it's a leading indicator. So it tells you what's about to happen in the market.
Okay. So
you can hit me that, Andre.
my boy trying to drink. I got you.
And I do got a question for like more.
Tay be trying to trade.
I be trying to trade, but video stuff be getting in the way. So like when you talk about the opening flow and stuff like around 9:30,
Right.
I done lost a lot of money.
Around that time.
Yeah, around that time.
Me
So,
too.
like, would you advise like more advanced trader or novice traders to be trading around that time?
So this is what I say if you want to talk about following flow around the open. Capital flow is like a car. It's like a Lamborghini. It's nice, it's beautiful, it's sexy. You know what it does, you know what it's capable of. But if you don't know how to drive, you're not going to go buy a Lamborghini because it's not going to be useful for you. So same way, if you say you don't necessarily know how to trade, you're not going to buy trading software. So you got to, at the bare minimum, be comfortable and confident enough to say, okay, I know how to get in a trade. I know how to manage it. I know how to exit. And then once you have that, now you can go ahead and get that software that's going to help you up your win rate right there at the open.
Oh wow. Okay. So all right. So obviously you're saying, look, don't just not just get it right away.
Right.
I mean, if you want to, go ahead.
Yeah.
But it's like try to learn the basics first.
Yeah. At the bare minimum, you got to at least, like, you can't look, it's not going to help you to say, okay, this is what people are buying, but you don't know how to open a brokerage account and buy the same thing. You got to at least know how to get in and out of trades on your own. And if you don't know how to do that, that's why I got the community for, to help you get to the point where you're ready to get that software.
So do you suggest people to only focus on like a handful of stocks and just like learn those, or do you just tell them to just go wherever I guess the money's at?
Now, focus on a handful of stocks. Your watch list shouldn't be more than 5 stocks, maybe 3 to 5. And that's because if you're only trading the same basket of stocks every day, you're going to get to learn them more, because stocks, to be honest with you, they can have personalities. You learn how they move, you know how they react to certain events in the market, and you'll be able to basically turn those 3 to 5 stocks into your own personal money printers. I know some traders that only trade one stock every single day. They don't care about anything else the market is doing, and they make great money. You don't need to always try to find a new stock every day. That can get exhausting, trying to find new things, because at that point you're chasing what's the next mover, what's the next mover. Like, every stock moves every single day. You just got to get familiar with how your stocks move to make money.
Okay, so let's say I got my 3 stocks. Okay, so like what do I do next?
So you get the stocks that you want to trade, and then you develop your trading strategy. So to develop your trading strategy, you got to know what kind of trader you have to be. So primarily you got 2 kinds. You got day trading and you got swing trading. So the stock market is open from 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. So Day trading is just you buy and sell anytime within that window. That's primarily what I do. I like day trading. It's not for everybody because it's a little more active. You have to have time to kind of sit there in front of the screen, watch information, watch data, make moves. Or you can be a swing trader. So swing trading just means you're holding something overnight. So the overnight period could be 1 day, could be 1 week, a month, 6 months, a year. You can do short-term swing trading. You can do long-term swing trading. But it just means you're holding it overnight, which is a little bit less active because you don't have to actually sit there and watch it. That's primarily what I was doing when I was still a student and stuff, just swing trading. So once
That's crazy. I know a lot of people that say the opposite, but go ahead.
but,
What do you mean the opposite?
They may
Like-
say I started off as a day trader and then they go I move into swing trading.
Oh,
Nah, I did the reverse. And now I like day trading because I have the time to day trade. Like I can't sit there and look at screens and stuff like that. But once you figure out what type of trader you want to be, you need to develop your trading strategy. So really there's 3 main types. We talked about the charts, we talked about flow, and the last one we can really talk about is news. So news is just like seeing an article. This company laid off 10,000 people. This company launched a new product. Things that could cause the stock to move either up or down. And there's a lot of big moves to be made off of news. But again, a lot of times the news is kind of tricky to play because you'll notice that a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times by the time the news comes out, the stock has already made the move. And that's because these people that we talked about that you see on Capital Flow, these big money traders, these people that have access to the information, they're getting their news before the general public does. Before it hits Twitter, before it hits the internet, the news websites, marketwatch.com, whatever, CNBC, whatever news source, they already knew about it before it becomes public. They have access to the fastest and most advanced trading technology, something like a Bloomberg terminal. That's the fastest, most advanced news source out there.
Wow.
You'll have news days in advance. Even if it's not days, it can be hours or minutes. That still makes a big difference in the stock market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How much you think one of those costs?
or what?
A Bloomberg terminal.
Probably like
To have news before it's public.
probably a couple 100,000.
I think last time I checked, it was 30 bands a year. But I know the price went up. I think the price keeps going up. I think it might be like closer to 40, 50 bands a year now.
That makes sense though.
So the
Because,
average-
'cause
yeah.
you're gonna make that back.
Exactly.
Because when you're able to know something before it happens.
Exactly. And you know the average person, they can't buy that. You know what I mean? So that's why you don't have to spend 30, 40, 50 racks to get a Bloomberg terminal and study and do all the research, because these guys, these hedge funds guys, they're doing it for you. They're spending all the bread, they're doing all the research, and you get the end result with flow. So again, flow is my favorite strategy, but I don't encourage people to just use flow by itself. I say really combine all 3. That's how you know you got the great trade. When you have good flow, you see good news, and you have a good pattern or a setup on the charts. That's what I call the holy trinity, man. You got all 3. That's a great trade.
Wow. So what you start? So I'm guessing from you start and look at the flow. Then let me go look at the charts, and then let me see if some news hit about it. But I'm pretty sure, but you probably get the trade in before the news even hit. Right. So so you start. So after you look at the flow, what are you going to go look at on the charts?
I'm looking for some type of what you would call confirmation. So I say, okay, they're saying the stock is about to go up. So something I look at is just real simple. It's called support and resistance. So support, that's like your floor. Resistance is like your ceiling. So say you're standing in the room, you have a ball. The ball is a stock. You drop the ball on the floor, that's your support. You expect it to bounce off of that. So when the stock touches support, you expect it to bounce. Now, if you throw it hard enough, it might go through the floor. That's called breaking support. And then you expect it to continue to drop. So say if I see that there's people saying that the stock is going to go up. I look at Capital Flow first thing in the morning. I see the stock is about to, they're spending millions of dollars thinking the stock is going to move up. I say, okay, let me look at the charts. I see it's near support level. So that means I expect it to bounce off of the support and move up. Then I check the news. I say, okay, I see that they just got a price upgrade. The analyst just said, I think this stock needs to be at a higher price from where it's at now. So now I got flow, I got the charts, and I got the news. So that means I know I have a good trade.
So I'm guessing that's what you use, because I know you said earlier that like you made a couple trades today and you were good. So I'm guessing you used the same strategies on to make the trades today.
Exactly.
So like just walk us through like the trades you made today. Like what influenced the trades or like.
So I didn't have the holy trinity day. I didn't have the 3, but I took some SPY puts. So SPY is SPY. That's the S&P 500 index. So that's 500 of the largest companies put together into one company. So you have the top 500 companies on the stock market. Think of it like a basket of stocks, right? And you can trade that instead of picking the individual names. And then puts are an option trade that allow you to make money when the stock moves down. So that's one of the biggest benefits to options trading. You can make money when it's moving down. So I opened Capital Flow this morning because I had to get on the road because I drove down here from Charlotte. So I already knew I wasn't going to be in the market long.
Just for us, guys.
Yeah. I already knew I wasn't going to be on there long. So I said, let me see if I could spend 30, 45 minutes before I want to get on the road. So I saw immediately there's puts being bought. People think the market is going to move down. I see SPY puts. And then I look at the chart. I see that it actually went up first thing in the morning, but it rejected off of resistance. So again, you got that ball, you're in a room, resistance is your ceiling. You throw the ball up at the ceiling, you expect it to bounce back down to the floor. So that's how I took it. I saw we had flow. I saw it touch the resistance. So I said it's going to come back down to the nearest support level. It'll bounce off the ceiling till it comes back down to the floor. So that's how I made my money this morning on SPY.
And I know earlier we were talking about like swing trading. Like, what's the longest you done stayed in a swing trade?
I don't do a lot of long-term swinging personally. I do kind of short to medium-term swings. So usually I'm in there for any time between 1 to 4 weeks.
1 to 4 weeks.
So I guess you're doing a lot of day trading. I guess how are you allocating those funds after you get them?
As far as like paying myself or
paying yourself. What are you doing with the funds?
Taxes.
How you paying yourself? Are you buying long-term investments with it or what? Like,
yeah. So this year, pretty much all the profits that I made have been reinvested into the tech company. I'm really wanting to grow this.
oh yeah,
Yeah. I've reinvested in myself a lot. You know, I don't really need much as far as like just spending money. So I like to reinvest in my businesses. As far as paying myself personally, usually I'm paying myself anywhere between 15 to 20% of what I made from that week. And that's enough to live off of for me. And then as far as taxes, you definitely want to make sure you put some money aside for taxes. There's different ways of being taxed. So the best advice that I can give you is, for one, start an LLC. Trade under an LLC instead of trading as an individual, because that's going to open up some doors for you. You can write off a few things because now you're trading as a business. So your laptop is a write-off, your monitors are a write-off, anything that you're using to trade, you can write off, save a little bit of money on taxes. And then outside of that, definitely hire a CPA. Definitely get with somebody to actually make sure you're getting the most benefits when it comes to these taxes. Because taxes, my first year making good money, I didn't even think about that, and I got smacked.
That's most for everybody. That's most for everybody.
Before we get into the tech company and the other business you have, let's just get into the fun questions real quick.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's have some fun.
we know you started, okay, you left your job for $5,000, but what was like your actual like biggest day trading?
So it's an interesting story because my biggest win and my biggest loss came at the same time. So I was, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. So look, I was trading Tesla. I was in a swing trade, so I was holding it overnight. The next morning, I was up $40,000 on my Tesla trade. So what I should have did was say, I'm up $40K. That's great money. Let me take this to the bank. Call it a day.
Did you take some off at least?
That I did. I took half of it. I took 20. I sold half of the position. So I locked in 20K in profit, and I tried to keep trading with the other 20K, and I lost all of that. So I ended up, what should have been a 40K day ended up being a 20K day.
Damn, that's unfortunate. I'm so sad.
And
that nigga just made 20,000.
I was sad, man. I was sad. No, but the lesson in that is that, because like he shook his head because he probably know that most traders, their biggest loss actually comes right after their biggest win. Because after your biggest win, you start feeling overconfident. You feel like, yo, I'm the man. I got this trading thing figured out. Nobody can tell me nothing. I'm a pro trader. And you start doing stupid things. So your best bet after you make your biggest win or a lot of money is to literally just cash out, take the money, maybe transfer it to your bank account, Buy yourself something nice, book a trip, and then just log out of your trading account until your emotions reset. So whatever that may take, if it's a day, if it's a week, however long it takes you to get back in the market.
Dang.
Okay,
I done had a $50 account, made $100, then lost 125.
Negative.
Okay, and I'm gonna let you pick the next question. So either give us your biggest month,
Wait, I got a
or
question.
give us your biggest year.
Okay, I got a question real quick. So when you made that trade, was it the Holy Trinity was using the flow or?
No. This was 2020. It was the top of 2020. I think it was my birthday month. Yeah, it was January. It was January
that's a great
2020.
month.
Yeah, January 2020. I was swinging Tesla, and I was making good money, but I was not as strategic. I was a little bit reckless back then, so I didn't really have the Trinity. I wasn't even using flow at the time. I was just I took a high risk trade. It was risky, but it hit, and I kept some of the money, lost some of it.
Okay, so it wasn't flow. All right, now we're going to BJ question.
Yeah,
But
so
So either give us your biggest month or give us like the I guess like your best year.
I'll give you biggest month.
Okay.
Biggest month was 100K. 100K month.
Sheesh. So when you made that 100K, what was that? That was all. Hold on, my bad. I feel like I'm far away. That was all day trading.
It was a combination of day trading and swing trading.
Okay, I got you. When was that?
This was at the top of. I've had a couple 100K months. So the first one was at the top. The first one was at the top of 2022. The next one was a little bit earlier this year.
Okay.
Okay, so when you hit those 100K like months, did you not kind of revert back to those? Oh, I'm the best trader in the world. like, do those thoughts not come into your head, or is just like
They come into my head, and I'm not gonna lie. It's easier said than done. Like say, oh yeah, just say log out. Like you can say that, but when you're looking at the screen, you're up $100,000. You're gonna be thinking like, yo, you gonna have those thoughts. So what I do, I don't just think these things. Like I know these things. I know the rules that I have for myself. One of my rules is after a big day, I got to log out. So I don't just have that in my head because I'm.
Hold on, how do you even know what's a big day until you? It's like the big
It's,
day
it's,
is there?
it's, it's, I mean, big is different for everybody. You know what I mean? But I actually write my trading rules down. So I don't just think about them. I write them down, and everybody should do this. Write them down, have them on a notepad beside your desk, put it on a sticky note, stick it to your screen, whatever you got to do to actually remind yourself of this stuff every day. Because if you don't have it right there in front of you, a lot of times you're not even going to think about it when the time comes. So anytime I find myself questioning or feeling what should I do or getting emotional, which you don't want to be in the market, I just can go back to my rules that I have written down. These are the things that I need to do. I'm going to do them regardless of how I feel. That's why they exist. That's why they're there for me.
Man.
Okay, in 100K month, do you like you gave yourself like a gift or something after that month, or like how do you?
I think
reward yourself after that month.
The most I'll really do is just book a trip. Like I said, I don't really need much. I'm really passionate about being a tech CEO right now.
Man,
That's where all my money has gone this year.
When you say book a trip, where are you going?
Mexico.
Okay,
Mexico.
We'll hop back
Mexico.
on that later.
Yeah.
Mexico every time.
We're gonna hop up on
This
this.
is-
We're going to
if-
Colombia. We know what's down there.
You said what?
All right, we'll get back on that later.
What?
We'll get back on that later.
You said I need to come to Colombia?
Keep going.
All right, we're gonna move on. All right. So let's get into the tech company because he keeps saying, bro, he's very passionate. And obviously,
Play
right
baseball
now.
before?
Baseball? No, I play football.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Okay.
What position?
What position you play?
I play linebacker, safety.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
What was you?
I play linebacker defense. He probably would have ran us over.
You said he would have ran us?
He would have ran you over.
Oh, maybe you. I don't know about us.
But no. With that right there, right? So obviously, what made you get into this tech company? What is it? So you got what is it? It's called Capital Flow.
Capital Flow.
So it's the flow that you were talking about that you're using now.
Right.
How did you say? You know what? Let me make this. Let me get into this.
So when I first started because I'm a trader and I got two businesses built around trading. The first one was Impact Investments, and when I started that, I always knew this was not going to be the last thing I do. I said this will end up being a stepping stone into something else. I didn't know what it was going to be at the time, but I said the opportunity will present itself.
Right.
And then I got connected with some guys that are involved in tech, some coders, and they joined my group actually. And I just started talking to them. We were trading. We were already using Flow. I was using different Flow services, but I didn't like them. I had problems with a lot of them. So I already liked the idea of trading with Flow, but I said, I don't like I haven't found a good flow service. And to be honest, there's not that many. There's maybe 5 to 10 big ones. Some of them are okay. But you're not really going to find that many flow services because it takes a lot of money to make one, and it takes a lot of skill from coders. So I ended up meeting up with one of these guys who's now my CTO, my chief technologies officer. And we were just talking about the group, and we started having a conversation of how can we make something to help people find trades, because we're teaching people, we're educating them, and we get them to a point where they're comfortable and confident enough to trade on their own. So now they might not feel like they need that kind of beginner hand holding. So how can we still provide value to those people that don't need the beginner help? And that's where capital flow came from. And this was in March of 2021 when we first had the idea of doing a flow service. And it was June of last year when we finally launched it. So it took a little over a year of building, putting the money up, getting the team together, getting everything kind of organized until we finally were able to launch this.
Wow. So now you have this service and you have this flow service. So what does it look like trying to start a tech company, or what does that even look like?
So it really comes down to 2 things that you need. You need money and execution. So money, there's a few different routes you can go. You can put up your own funds, or you can try to get funding, get investors. I know some people in the tech space, they're looking to get investors for the idea. All they do is fly around the country to different investor events and pitch their idea and hope someone will give them $1 million or $2 million or whatever it is that they need to start. That was not the route that I wanted to go personally, because when you take on investors' money, you, 1, give up equity. So if I want to sell this later, I have more equity so I can pay myself. And then for 2, when investors get involved, sometimes they might, depending on how the deal is structured, they might want to tell you how to run your business. And that wasn't something I wanted. I didn't want a boss. I didn't want to have to answer to anybody. So I was fortunate enough to be in a position where I had my own money that I could put into the business. So that's what I wanted to do. I put my own bread up into the company. So that's 1, money, and then it's execution. So you need coders. You need people that know how to actually build a website or build an app. And for me, I'm not a coder. I'm not an expert coder. I know some kind of basics, some beginner stuff. I do a little bit here and there. But I didn't want to put it together myself, because if I do it, it's going to look like a beginner did it. It's not going to look good. Or I could have learned how to code and do it myself, but that's going to take years to become a great coder. Or route 3, which is the route that I went, was build a team. Get people that have 10, 15, 20 years experience in coding, hire them, have them build a team, have them build out a company. And that's what I ended up doing. And we built out Capital Flow.
So how much money does it look like you need to even start something like that?
For me, I've invested over 6 figures into my tech company, and it can really depend, because there's a lot of routes you can go. It depends on how big you want to make it. You know what I mean? Can you start with a little bit of money? Yeah, but then, you're going to have to hire people. You talk about paying people. You talk about data fees, all this stuff. So it's like, it's as big as you want to take it. Obviously, like with any business you want to start, the more money you have, the easier it is to start.
Are you building this thing? I mean, obviously, if you listen to any business person, you build a sale. But is your plan to sell this, or is that what you want to do? Or
to be honest with you, it's still so early. And I say early because a lot of startups don't even start making money until year 5. We're already making money. It's a blessing, but it's still so early to where I say nothing is off the table. So I might get a crazy offer next month and end up selling it next month. I might hold it for 5 years, 20 years. I might go the route of applying to have my company listed on the stock market, which is something I was doing some research in. So I really can't say how it ends, because right now there's nothing that I'm going to say I'm not going to do. Everything's on the table.
So how do you feel about that? Because I know a lot of people, especially in our culture, right? They're like, oh, y'all be selling and y'all don't hold on to. And I'm just like, how do you feel about that? Because I don't think that makes sense for people to be like, well, hold on to it. Me personally, because I'm like, why are you building anything?
I mean, I understand both sides, to be honest. There's a case to make for both sides, but I mean, I'm not going to knock anybody for selling their business for $25 million. Like, how could you?
Right.
Especially if you come from nothing.
Right.
I mean, how can you knock somebody for selling for 8 figures? You know what I mean? I can't knock you for that.
Right, for sure. So would your so some people got. I mean, my stance on it is kind of like, I feel like if you're a lot, because this is what people do. They hold on to it for so long. They be like, oh, I'm not selling ownership, blah blah. But then they ride this thing, and when it was at its peak, they ain't sell.
And it crashes.
And it crashes, and they ain't sell. I feel like, why wouldn't you sell if I'm building something?
I feel like just don't sell in its like infancy. Like if it's still like a baby and it's still like a lot of room to grow, don't sell. But it's like, okay, if you hit that peak and you're moving and grooving, it's like,
if it makes sense, then go ahead and get the money.
Like go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. I just asked that question because with you starting a tech company, obviously, you know, you're gonna get offered some money for this.
I've gotten some big offers, not big enough for me to say, okay, yeah, I can talk to you. But I've gotten offers already, and it's still early. So I know that if I continue to hold it for a few more years, the offers are going to be ridiculous.
Just hit me up. I'm taking something.
And I want to ask, what are some of the like everyday tasks for you for the company?
So as a tech CEO, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm learning the game. It's a lot of fun. I really love it.
Right.
But as a tech CEO, one of the main things you need to be doing is marketing and sales. That's the hardest thing with tech, because I've being in the tech space for a little while. I know a lot of people that are geniuses that have built great things, and nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about it. You do all this hard work to build something. You need to put it out there. You need to be able to get it in front of people. So, you know, if you've got coders that are constantly working on back end stuff, you need to be able to put it out there and have people see it. You need to be able to market your business, get eyeballs. I know a lot of great tech ideas or tech companies that were started that ended up flopping and having to get shut down because nobody saw it. They didn't know how to market. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the water powered car. Nobody never know that guy.
He's dead now, probably.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess it's really important. So obviously you just said it's really important, just marketing and stuff like that, because a lot of people just think, oh, let me work. But really they don't do anything to try to get things seen.
Right.
And I feel like it's so many things that we have not seen just because, and they're great ideas.
They're great.
They're great concepts, and it's just marketing is everything. So, well, not everything. I'm just trying to see which one is more important.
Which one?
You
Marketing or actually building the thing, because obviously you want to have a quality product to market. But if you just build a quality product without marketing, then what? Do you say that people should try to work on building it first, or you feel like they should maybe start trying to market first and then trying to?
I can't say one is more important than the other. You need both, because you might be a great marketer, but if your product sucks, okay, people might come check it out just off the strength of your marketing, but then they're going to realize this product is shit, and they're not going to, and they're going to leave. They're going to go somewhere else. So you need to have a great product. I would say put the product together first. Before I ever even market, I was building it. We actually already had it. We were in the beta stages. We were testing it. So when I say it took a little over a year to launch it, that doesn't mean it took over a year before now we can put it out, because I already had it. I was putting money up. The site existed, but I was just back testing it. We're looking like, yo, how can we improve this? How can we improve that? Because you don't want to just put something out there just to put it out there, because people are going to see it and they're going to leave. So you need to build it first and then market it. And then you got a great product, you got great marketing. That's how you get rich.
That is true.
I do. I will say it sounds like you use trading as a tool to take you to just different levels of life. Is there something that you don't do now, but you really want to do, like you thought about doing as a child, but maybe money was an issue, that maybe you can use trading as a tool to eventually do one day? Like what's a dream that you want to do eventually that you can do now that you couldn't do later or earlier in life?
I can't say that I grew up with a dream like this is what I want to do when I get older. I knew that I wanted to make money. I was always just a hustler, just even growing up in school, and then trading, I saw that as a way, this is how I want to make my money. But just recently, I've gotten a real passion just for being in the tech space, because like I said, I've seen a lot of genius people with genius ideas, and something now that I know that I want to do is be able to start investing in other people's tech ideas, because a lot of people with great ideas, and the only reason they don't have a company yet is because they don't have money. And they might be trying to raise funds, or they're trying to get money from wherever they can, but it's just not working out. So I want to get to a point where I'm not just investing in my own tech businesses, but I want to be able to put money up for other people. And I know that's going to make it a lot easier for them to make those ideas happen, because I had to put the money up and put in the work. So when you're doing both, it's hard. It's hard. I say I don't ever want to start from scratch again, where I got to put up all the money and get the team and do all the work. Like, I want to here's the money. you make your idea happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had another one?
I was about to say, it sounds like a whole lot of hard work. So like, how does dating work?
No, that's we're about to just get into that.
Oh, before that, I just want to take 5 to 10 minutes just because I know there's like probably a small percentage out there that's like people that's master traders. So like just for the people that's beginning in trading, where would you tell them to start? And like, how would you just like, what's some like words of advice you would give to people that's just like beginning in trading?
Yeah, the first thing you got to understand with trading is you need money to trade. Trading is turning a little bit of money into a lot of money. So you can't be on your last dollar trying to make flips in the stock market. Don't come in there with money that you need to pay the rent or money that you need for groceries, because then you're going to be emotional because you're going to be scared to lose that money because, you know, if these trades don't hit, I can't eat tomorrow. So you need to get a little bit of money saved up. Ideally, you want to have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. So if your monthly expenses are $2,500 a month, you want to have 6 months worth of expenses saved up before you start trading. So you trade with extra money because that's going to allow you to be a little bit more comfortable. You got a little bit of money put up, get a brokerage account or a trading platform. So there's 3 that I've used heavily. My favorite one, the one in my opinion is the best, is called Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is great. It rarely ever lags. You get in-app charting. You've got tutorials right there in the app. I don't have any complaints about Thinkorswim. It is probably the hardest to learn. But like I said, you got some.
What the hell going on?
It's tough to learn, especially if you're new to trading. It's gonna scare you. But like I said, they got some in-app tutorials right there on the site. Watch the tutorials, and you'll be good. The most popular one that I think a lot of beginners like is Robinhood. Robinhood is, I don't really encourage people to use Robinhood. I've been using Robinhood this week, but just with like, I had $500 in there that I didn't even know about. I thought my account was empty. I said, I got some extra money in here. Let me make some flips. And I turned it to like 1,000 just making flips. But I wouldn't trade with serious amounts of money in my Robinhood account, because one of the reasons as a day trader, Robinhood lags a lot for me. It's harder for me to get in and out of trades when I want to. So I have trouble with it there. You don't get charting on the app. I will say they made some improvements because I was using it back in 2018. It was way worse back then. They made some improvements, but still not my number one recommended platform. And then you got Webull, which is kind of like a balanced one because it's not as complicated as Thinkorswim. It's not as simple as Robinhood. It's kind of right there in the middle. You can do everything you can do on Robinhood. You can't do everything you can do on Thinkorswim. So it's kind of like my number 2.
All right, and a couple of like just basic questions. Is there like a couple of basic stocks you would direct beginners towards, or like
SPY, SPY, the S&P 500. Like I said, it can be kind of tough to pick individual stocks, especially if you haven't spent time studying these companies, learning about them. So that's why your best bet as a beginner, instead of trying to pick individual businesses, go with SPY, go with the S&P 500. It's the 500 of the largest companies all put into one ETF. So you got a basket of stocks there. Number 2 is QQQ. So QQQ is the NASDAQ 100. So that's the top 100 tech companies. So that's your Apple, your Microsoft, things like that. And those are all put together in another ETF. So if you're looking for where to start, what should I look at? What should I be buying? What should I be studying? Start with SPY and QQQ first.
So let's check ETFs.
And what's like the top indicators they should be looking at, like when they're trying to like catch a trade or like see if this is a good stock to invest in? Like, what's some top indicators they should be looking at?
Yeah, as a beginner on the charts, the first thing you should start with is just basic support and resistance. I already gave the example about standing in a room with the ball. So when you see that the stock continues to hit the support and bounce up, you mark that. You see it hits this level and it comes back down. You mark that as your resistance, and then you just look to play in between the bounces. And then if it breaks, then you can expect it to continue to move.
Okay, I got you. So, I mean, obviously, you got a lot of stuff going on, and you seem like you're real busy, and you having a lot of success with that amount of success. Though, I mean, it's like what are you doing right on your free time? Like, are you always working
on my what?
On your free time?
On my what?
You ain't got no free time. You ain't got no free time.
got free time right now.
What you mean? So you ain't doing that. He said it's work. He said it's work. So you're not doing anything. You're not out here. You don't go out or anything. You have fun.
I do go out, man. I'm not really much of like a club type person, but I got friends that work in the nightlife. I know some DJs, some club owners, so they might be throwing a party. They hit me up like, "Yo, come out, come." So I might come out, show love, just to my people because they invited me. But I'm not like actively looking like where the party's at.
Yeah,
Let
for
me go
sure.
Here. You know what I mean?
But now when
Where
you
the
get
females
there,
at?
when you get there, what friend are you? What type of friend are you? Like, are you still an introvert, or are you like, all right, I'm out, so I'm out? Like,
I'll be with my people mostly, man.
Okay.
But you get a couple shots in. The introvert the introvert gets a little smaller.
chest get big.
Yeah. The extrovert start to come out. You get a couple
Man, start
shots
looking
in.
at $100,000 in the
Yeah, I
bank, kind of saying,
You know how much money I got?
I don't know who you talking to. Who you talking to right now? No, CEO of a tech company. I got you. So listen.
Might know when I get a little liquid courage and I turn into a monster.
Hey, boy, it'll do it to you.
It'll do it to you. It'll definitely do it to you. So what? So right now, obviously, do you have time for dating right now? Are you dating at all? Do you have a girl? Do you got somebody hitting on the side? What you doing?
Dating is tough, bro. As an entrepreneur with multiple businesses, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's tough because girls is always they're gonna want that time, they're gonna want that attention, and it's like, baby girl, I don't really have too much to give to you right now. You know what I mean? So my last couple relationships, they were longer distance because it worked for me because I'm like, I can't see you every day. I don't want you to be trying to come over here every day or trying to go on dates, this, that. Like, we had that. I was dating from a distance, bro.
Wow. So you think long distance relationship is the best?
I'm not gonna say it's the best. Like, that's not what I look for. But these were women that I liked. There was a little bit of distance between us. I said, okay, that works. Because I try to date a woman in the city, is like it gets to a point where they they're always gonna say in the beginning, oh yeah, I understand you busy, it's no problem. But over a long enough period of time, they gonna say, oh, you never have time for me, you always working and this, that. So it's like,
preacher.
I tried to tell you. I told you. I ain't lying to you.
So a man in his 20s, do you a man in his 20s that's trying to build, do you encourage them to get in a relationship?
I would say that, yeah, I'm not one of those guys that's like, you have to cut out women or all this. Like, if you can find a nice girl that understands that you're on the grind, that's gonna support you, that's not gonna try to drain your pockets and slow you down, you know what I mean? Then by all means, go for it, bro. But you gotta do it. You gotta do it smart. Don't be out here trying to chase all these girls. To be honest, the best thing you can do as a man is build yourself up. And once you start working on yourself, they're just naturally gonna come to you. So whether you're looking for it or not, if like you start building, it's gonna come. You're gonna have those opportunities, so you don't have to go out there and actively be chasing these girls. That's a waste of time.
So do you have women coming to you, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's because
they see women. Women got a nose for it. They're like bloodhounds. They like.
Bloodhound.
They can spot you.
They spot you, bro. They spot you. They see the way you move.
Man.
They can see if you faking. They can see.
That's what they be in the club. They fishing for the ballers, bro. In the club, man. They know you be trying to stay low key and chill, but they know. They see, oh, he's dapping up all the club owners and the DJs, but he's trying to act like he's nobody. Like, who is this guy?
They know.
I mean, yes,
they know. So they coming for you. I got you. I got you. So
man,
me personally, I think right now I don't recommend somebody that's building, especially at younger ages, to be in a relationship.
Well, this is what I'll say.
And I'm married.
Because like what I do, I date, like I said, I date from a distance. You know what I mean? So I'm not really spending a lot of time, all this, that. Like I've had some girls, I really like them and cool, but I don't see them every day. I don't want to see you every day. I want to talk to you every day.
But you fly them out.
When I talk about long, I'm not talking about cross country. I'm talking about a little drive, a few hours. You know what I mean?
So you ain't never fly nobody out?
Charlotte to Atlanta. So
you ain't never fly nobody out?
I ain't flown nobody out like, I'm gonna get you on a plane, you come to me. Like, we took vacations together.
So you flew them out?
Is that flying? I'm flying out. Is like you come to me. It's like if we go over.
If we're going to Houston and I'd be like, I'll pay for your ticket.
Oh well, yeah.
You flying them out?
I took vacation. I take vacation. But it's like for me, because I take vacations. I take solo trips. I take solo trips to Mexico, across the country, wherever, because I just like to travel for myself. So if I have a girl that I like that I'm dealing with, then like, yeah, you get to be included in it.
Okay. So he encourages flying girls out. That's what we got from that. That's what I got from
not for the young guys. This
trying to get it. They're trying to get it. Yeah. You got to have a little money, right? We're not just gonna tell you to go out there and just do it.
Yeah. And when I say, like, because I build, but I'm a trader, I'm tech, so like you might see me on vacation and think, oh, well, he's on vacation, he's not working. Like, no, I still got my laptop. I might be out of town on the beach, but I'm still on my phone. I'm still getting work done. So even when I say like I talk about vacations, like the work doesn't really stop for me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I got you. That makes sense. But it seems like you seem like you having some fun. You know, you having fun, but you're able to get some work in, which makes sense too. So that's why we in Atlanta. We just gotta take my boy to the strip club, take him pin up.
Don't tell me that.
Throw a couple $100, and then we'll get up out of there. But I mean, look, it seemed like we probably do. Well, first of all, do you got like a big circle of friends? I just want to ask that. Do you got a big circle of friends, or you keep it small, or how is that for you?
I keep it pretty small. You know, they say if you have a lot of friends and you don't have any friends. So I keep it, you know, I'll say I got a lot of.
Down for me. What does that mean?
If you feel like everybody's your friend, you got 300 friends, you don't have any friends. These people are not your friends. You know what I mean? They're just people need to be able to know the difference between friends and associates, because I've got associates that I'll hang out with, we'll go out, we'll have a good time. I've had some of the best nights of my life out with people who I consider associates, but I don't necessarily consider them friends because I don't feel like I know them well enough to where I can maybe tell them a lot of the personal things that I have going on that I don't want everybody to know. Stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I got you. I got you. So that makes sense. So you pretty much keep it small.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I was just asking because a lot of people get so caught up in, having people around them, having friends. And I just feel like maybe that kind of could hinder you.
Exactly.
Because it's just all a lot of type of different energies and all that stuff. And you don't want that around you. Right. So obviously right now, your most important thing is building it right now.
Right.
So in about 5 years, where are you looking to be at?
So, like I said, man, one of my biggest goals is to just get more involved in this tech space, because that's really where the future is going. You Google the richest people on the planet, they all got tech companies. Minus like a few oil guys that are old and still kind of up there, but they're even falling down. Like the biggest and the wealthiest is tech. That's where the future is going. So that's why I really want to establish myself, just get more involved in the tech space. I got Capital Flow right now, and same thing with Impact. When I started, I said this is not going to be the last. Same thing with Capital Flow. This is going to be another stepping stone into something that I do. That's gonna be another topic for another episode, but I got plans. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have to have a part 2 because we keep going. I know we passed an hour right now, so
and it feels like we've been here for a minute.
That's it. Definitely feels like we've been here for a minute. So of course, we're not just gonna end it right there. We like to make sure we drop this episode at the beginning of the week, right? We drop on Tuesdays, right? So at 6:30 p.m. So if you already know, if you watching us, you know what time we drop, right? Hope you just watching this when it just dropped at 6 o'clock p.m., right? So make sure you guys tapping in. But since we dropped it at the beginning of the week, we like to leave them with something they can actually go implement this week and actually have some success and see some results, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, or spiritually, right? So we like to give them some game that they can actually go implement this week. We call it give them some. So go ahead and give us some game that they can implement this week that's going to make them better. It's in that camera right there.
So look, when it comes to general advice, I always say the same thing. You don't need me to give you new information, because you already know what you're supposed to do, and you've been telling yourself that you're going to do it. You've been saying that you were going to start going to the gym. Maybe you've been saying that you were going to start trading. Maybe that's why you watch this podcast. So don't just turn off this podcast and then go back to playing video games. Start studying more. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. Maybe you've been saying that you were going to cut out alcohol and weed for a little bit. Just do the things that you already know that you need to do. A lot of people, you might have a to-do list, but your to-do list is 50 things. So you just look at it and say, oh, you get overwhelmed. Like, just pick something on there and do it, because you already know what you need to do. You just haven't done it yet.
Man, that's a big one, because guys, you guys understand that the people see all this stuff that they need to do, and they never do it because they just so looking at all this stuff. How about just pick something?
Pick something and do it. You know what you got to do. I don't need to tell you what to do, because you already know.
You already know. Y'all listen to all these podcasts. If you listen to this podcast, that means you listen to other podcasts. You're hearing all this stuff that people telling you to do. That means you already got to deal with what you need to do. That's what he's saying. So just go ahead and get started. Guys, look, this has been a great episode, man. We appreciate JT for coming on and dropping nothing but straight fire, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you on YouTube. And JT, where can we find you at?
Yeah, it's at The Almighty JT on all platforms. So tap in with me on Instagram. That's where I'm at every day, posting free game, just shoot me a DM. I answer all people. So just, follow me on the gram. That's the best place to stay in contact with me.
For sure. And make sure you follow us on Instagram at _on-the-porch. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And if you did enjoy this episode, guys, you looking like you want to support and you thinking about, man, I want to see how I can help these individuals. This is what I need you to do. What I need you to do is I need you to go ahead and leave a super chat. And also join the membership. Join the membership so we can make sure that we're giving you all even more game behind the scenes. God, we got some things special coming for the people that are members. And if you're not, oh well, guess you're missing out. Guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram at _Mr.Mindset. And BJ, where can they find you at?
Y'all go ahead and follow me at _BJ Real. But most importantly, y'all go follow the podcast at _on-the-port.
We've been going crazy
y'all
lately.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at _on-the-porch. And like he said, guys, if y'all leave a super chat or join and be a member, we'll give y'all behind the scenes access and plenty more of exclusive content.
And we got merch coming.
We got merch.
We got merch on the way. You may get
t-shirt,
it. I mean, we finna drip y'all out. If y'all ever see how me and BJ be dressing outside of like just what we wear on the podcast or whatever, we be dressing, bro. So we
not one of them.
We not gonna have y'all out here looking crazy. We gonna have y'all really dripped out. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. We're not dropping though. We're not dropping the merch until we get 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully by the time this episode come out though, we had 1,000 subscribers.
Yep. We're at 800 and like 50, 60?
860. I just
860, guys.
860. So make sure you guys do that so we get you that merch and get you the things that you need so you can support. But look, we have been for a while. This has been a great episode and we are out. Peace. Man, come in and drop straight game.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good.
JT on the track again.
Hey, run that shit up, Trace.